back.
Welcome up.
Double Down
Let's go.
Mondays. This is
Welcome to Monday.
this is the last Double Down Monday because we got two games tonight.
Yep.
And then after this, there'll be some bye weeks, so not as many teams playing, not as many games. They don't have to cram the schedule.
They're double Mondays.
But I'm Swag. He's Shrek.
Hello.
Well, Shrek, what did you think about the Sunday's games?
Dudes, there's a lot of crazy games in general, but I think there was one game that like really stuck out to me this week, and I think it's been the same team that stuck out to me the past other couple weeks of the season so far, and that's the Vikings, dude. They're just so dominant and just complete and just good and all around. Like, their defense is good. They went to Lambeau. I know Green Bay kind of had to come back on them, dude, but holy dude, Minnesota just looks so good. I love them. I actually love them. I'm the Steelers fan, dude. I love Sam Darnold.
I mean, whenever you're in like that prevent type game flow, like they're up by a lot, you're gonna see teams come back, kind of like the Cowboys and the Ravens. You're naturally gonna have those because you're not playing for them not to score. You're just playing against the clock at that point. But yeah, I agree. The Vikings, real deal, absolutely real deal. I had Packers playoff team, very good team, and they had Love. You could tell Love though was not. He was still limping around, and I was worried. Yeah. I was worried about that. Oh man, I want to see them play with Love not limping around.
Yeah, you could definitely tell. It's like almost at the beginning of it, he was like he was working himself like back into like the rhythm of stuff. I mean, he had a lot of interceptions early and everything, but still ended the game with 4 touchdowns, I think.
Oh yeah,
I think the Packers will be fine. I think they just need to get him in a rhythm because I mean he played 1 game of the season so far, and that's right when he got hurt at the end of that first game against the Eagles in Brazil. So he's, if anyone's had it like awkward and weird, it's been Love so far this season. I mean, to be in Brazil getting your first injury, it's the first game you played all season, and then you come back and you're in a big game already. So I think the Packers will be fine, but I would like to see him not limping around as well either.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. And it's crazy that Jordan Love threw for 389. He had 54 passing attempts. That's insane. That's so much. But I mean, they had to, right? They had to come back. They did. So let's see when they meet again and they're playing. But that was at the Packers, right? That was in Lambeau.
Yeah, that was it. That was in Lambeau. Yeah.
So that's huge. I mean, that's huge. Like that's a very hard, good quality win for the Vikings. They look to be the favorite. I mean, Tampa Bay looked pretty good.
Outside of the Giants in week 1, I mean, they've beat the 49ers, the Texans, and the Packers back to back weeks so far. I mean, that's impressive. I know it's early on, but those are also teams that we know that are pretty good overall teams starting the season, going into the season. So kudos to the Vikings, dude. Also, the Vikings head coach is not getting enough said about him. He is doing a phenomenal job for them, dude. I don't know how he's corralled everyone the way he has behind Darnold and everything, but dude, he's also not getting enough credit. They're in every way, shape and form over there. They're just killing it. They have it down right now.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. In any other year, you would think the Vikings would be 1-3 right now, right? Like the eye test, lost their, rookie quarterback who they drafted and was going to start, has to go with Darnold. You would think 1-3. No, they're 4-0 against 3 quality teams and another team that when you're a quality team, you expect to beat the Smithereens, and they whoop the shit out of the Giants. So, I can't say enough about the Vikings right now. Definitely liking how they look. Let me go to the standings real quick. Let's talk about. You want to start going over? You want to go over who's defeated and undefeated right now?
Yeah. In the AFC, we could start in the AFC if you would like.
There's only Kansas City.
I mean, it's only Kansas City being undefeated, and only the Jaguars being a team that hasn't gotten one yet. Kansas City just
the Titans are defeated as well, but they play tonight, so you know that's still to be determined. But they are defeated, so. But yeah, Kansas City only undefeated team right now. I'll let you take the stage.
Kansas City just doesn't scare me, man. Like every single one of their games, it just seems like there's either been one super controversial call that could have went either way, or they've all come down to almost like the last couple of drives, if not the last drive. So the Chiefs, I don't know how I feel about them. I mean, I know they got Patty Mahomes. They started using Kelsey. Kelsey kind of got back into the rhythm of things, but you also lose Rice for the
Yeah, they lost
looks like for the
Rice, man.
year. It
I
looks
saw.
like he's going to be an ACL injury out for the year. You lost Hollywood Brown, so I mean, he's getting a little thin now on the receiving end of things. I mean, Xavier Worthy's going to have to step up and take a big role for his rookie year. He's shown out so far. I think he's done well, but that's a whole nother level of like he's really gonna have to step it up for them. Worthy is. He's gonna have to be making some big moves that the first year players usually won't have to be doing, but he's gonna have to do them.
And he did have a good game. Worthy had a decent game. He had
Yeah,
another
he had a long touchdown.
touchdown. But yeah,
Yep.
I agree with you. Kansas City 4-0 does not look like a 4-0 team though.
No.
When you're looking
Nope.
at like someone like the Vikings, who look like a complete team, who are winning,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they look. There's some other teams who are 3-1, 2-2, who look better than they do. They lost
Agreed.
Rice.
Yeah.
I don't think Worthy. Yes, he has to step up, but I think Juju Smith-Schuster is going to have to step up unless they
Yeah.
trade for someone. And that was the talk today. Obviously, number one receiver goes down. What are you going to do? Do you think
The,
someone that they'll try to acquire a trade? I
do you
do.
think they get Devontae Adams? Do you think?
Man, I was thinking off the top of my head before I heard any talk on this, and that's who first came to my like. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if can they get him though. Like, do they have? I don't know his contract. I don't know the salary
Yeah.
cap implications. I don't know all that, so I don't even know if that's a possible trade scenario or if we're just trying to dream, right? Um,
Yeah.
but
There
that
was
would be
trade rumors
cool.
behind Adams and the Steelers. That was a rumor.
Now I also do like maybe like someone like Carolina looking to trade. I heard Thielen's name. Even though he's on, he's hurt right now. But and also the other Carolina receiver, not the rookie, but
Deontay Johnson.
uh, is that who it is? He's number
Yeah, he
five. I know.
came.
I know.
Yeah, I think that's him. I don't know his number anymore, but when he used to play to Pittsburgh, I remember him.
But yeah, and that might be someone that they look for because both Thielen and him have looked good at when they have someone throwing to them. But will they find someone else somewhere? Maybe Houston makes a trade or something. I don't know. But
Mhm.
it'll be interesting to see what they do. Do they feel confident with who they have? Do they think they can win the Super Bowl with who they have? That's the thing. They don't have a number one receiver again. It feels like we're back to step one with them. Like even though they're undefeated, it almost seems like this keeps coming. Like they get a good receiver, they find them, and then gone.
Yep.
Tyreek Hill, and then they get a number one receiver. They like him, ACL. Like fuck, man, that has to suck. But yeah, I don't have too much more to say there. I don't see the
Ooh.
Chiefs will not go undefeated the rest of their. They don't look impressive, but they are undefeated. Can't argue that. What were you oohing
This
over?
is this is huge news right here for
Oh,
any Jordan Mason fans.
Jordan.
Christian McCaffrey has Achilles tendonitis in both of his legs. It's not. He doesn't just have one leg problem. He has
no.
two leg problems. Oh shit. Achilles tendonitis. He might not play this season, man.
I had tendonitis my
Wow.
freshman year in high school, and it was a lot of rehab. It was more rehab and like kind of
Mhm.
rest than anything. Like a lot, stretching and little exercises that aren't, that impact force of running.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't too bad though. I don't know how bad his is, but I can tell you this: it's not comfortable. It's definitely not comfortable. But in both legs, that's kind of crazy. Like I don't.
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
Even
Like what do you do?
The
Like,
Niners came out and said that the Niners are not sure on the timeline for Christian McCaffrey's return.
oh my god,
Like
I'm
that.
so glad I
Oh,
didn't draft him.
Me too.
And now Mason looks like the best
Holy.
pickup of free agency, like without a doubt. I mean, you get a
Yeah.
running back one, like
He's
you know.
he's playing great, honestly. Like like that's another question that I feel like the 49ers have to take into account is like if once they get like for the most part their injuries back, like all their players back besides McCaffrey, if they can do well and continue like to do well and stuff like that, it's almost like a thing that's like McCaffrey's a great player, but he's kind of getting old. He's been beat up a couple different
He
times now
takes
with injury.
so much like damage, like his
Yeah,
body. He's just like I don't know how he does it.
it's good. He runs hard, man. He's a hard runner,
Hmm.
but it's like one of those things. It's like the 49ers then decided they're going to move on from McCaffrey and go with Mason because he's so young. I mean, he's this is the second year. I think last year's rookie year maybe, and I think he was undrafted or something like that. I don't know exactly his full story, but I mean,
Yeah, I actually don't either.
he's young. He's very very young.
Um, yeah, that's crazy news. Um,
Yeah, that
I
was didn't mean to be off topic, but wow, that's breaking news for sure.
I could see them like sitting him until like the last like 4 games of the season or something like that, and
To get him
then
warmed up for the
working him
playoffs.
back because when it comes to playoff time, you can't replace McCaffrey. Even
Yeah,
makes him, but there's no McCaffrey. Like he
yeah.
is so good. And I think the rushing numbers would probably be even better if he were playing. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, they probably would. The other thing besides him, he's a really good receiving back as well.
yes, yeah. He's a full 3 down back.
Oh
Very good
yeah.
hands. But yeah, I could see them probably doing that. Okay, let's back to the AFC defeated teams because we just finished with Kansas City. So we have Jacksonville, who looks like ass. I don't even know. I don't even know.
Yeah, they they played the Texans tight yesterday. They almost beat the Texans when it came down to final seconds of the game. Houston drew back down the field and got a score. I thought they were going to squeak their first win of the season out there, but man, I don't know. They have some issues. The Jags definitely have some issues, and I don't think it's just team issues. I think it's front office and coaching and other stuff too. They need to figure out what their issues are, and they need to flip it out upside down because they're looking rough.
Um, yeah, I couldn't tell you what's going wrong there. It's not like you have like your starting quarterbacks out. You have Ingram who's out.
Yeah,
That's a tight end. Like yeah, maybe he's a good tight end, but like he's not someone who's like completely changes your whole game plan and shit.
yeah.
Um,
He's not a Kelsey or Mark Andrews or someone like that, right?
yeah,
Um,
and I don't even like. I couldn't tell you if it's like they're just not playing disciplined football. Like that's one of those I'm just scratching my head because it looks like they should be better. Like they should be able to
they
compete
have
better.
talent. They have
Um,
great talent there, man.
and it's just rough. And then the Titans, they just Will's got to make better decisions,
So
and I think they have a decent team. I just
I do too.
young quarterback, still learning. But how much longer are you going to want to go with that? It's almost
Yeah.
it might almost be the panic button time. We're getting
Uh,
into week 4 of season 2, and I don't know.
yeah. I don't think it's time to hit the panic button yet. Yeah, I think they're close for sure. My biggest thing is I don't think the Titans are that bad of a team. I mean, their first 2 games of the season, they should have won. I mean, Levis gave those games away, like quite literally gave those games away
Yeah,
for
that is
them.
that is true. The
So
especially week 1, I remember seeing like there's
yeah,
uh, you know
and and they played the Jets pretty well in week 2, up until the end. And Levis just makes really stupid decisions at the end of the game, it seems like. But I mean, they didn't play the Packers terribly, I don't think. I think tonight they pick up their first win of the season against Miami.
I do
But
too.
to me, the Titans are the best team in the league that doesn't have a win right now, in my opinion. I don't think they could, like I said, they could have easily won a game or two at least by now. So I don't I don't hit the panic button for them yet. I mean, shit, like you're 0-3, like that's terrible, awful start. But at the same time, I'm close to it with them, but not yet.
Yeah, I gotcha. I really think for this team, it's just the turnovers. Like, if
Yeah,
because like you said, it's not like the Jaguars where you're just like what the fuck is going on? Like, this is so confusing. It's you can
Yeah.
see it. They're in close games.
Yeah.
You know, he has it's a play. That one play, has mattered in 2 games. Like,
Yep.
it's that close. So, but that's really big. That's a because it seems like I just the Titans,
Yeah.
they're a team that I don't see them doing well though. I just don't see him like turning it around. That's the thing. So like, you don't want him to have the turnovers, but at the same time they need to compete. Things are
Yeah.
forced, and I don't know if he's got it. And maybe with time he grows and does. It's just I'm like I do think they get their first win tonight though against the
Yeah,
Dolphins.
me too.
In fact,
Do
I
you think
think
the Titans?
what?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think the Titans are shooting themselves in the foot right now for dropping Malik Willis or getting rid of Malik Willis?
Um,
Especially after seeing how he just played the first couple weeks in Green Bay.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I,
because
I don't think they gave him that big of a chance, honestly. I never thought they gave him a full opportunity down there.
yeah. I mean, well, when you see your former quarterback go to another team and get wins, like yeah, they're probably like, well, damn it.
Like
And
shit.
sometimes that player just wasn't for you, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
always like, oh, well, damn, we let a good quarterback go, or whatever the situation is. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
just that player does not work in your system, or something about him just hasn't worked in that scenario where they go to a completely different scenario, different situation, and that's where they thrive. Sometimes that's what it is. These young quarterbacks get drafted to a team and that they shouldn't have been on that team. Like someone who comes to mind, Colt McCoy, like way back in the day. I think coming out of college, I thought he was one of the better quarterbacks, um, and he went, got bounced around from team to team and didn't do very well. And then, he's in his 30s and he had a backup quarterback role on multiple teams, and he threw for over 300 yards in multiple games. And
Yeah.
that's kind of, that's something like that's similar. You get a young quarterback that doesn't belong in that situation, and they just need to get into that correct situation, and that's where they'll thrive.
He also got the curse of being drafted by the Browns. So
Yes. Oh my God. I was so heartbroken.
the poor guy.
I knew it before it even. um,
Poor guy. There he goes.
on to
All
the
right, hold on. I'm gonna be able to hear you for one second. I gotta change my headset battery.
okay. All right. On to the NFC though. We got 2 undefeated teams, and we have no defeated teams. So we have the Vikings and the Seahawks. Seahawks play tonight.
I can
Um,
hear.
Vikings took care of business. I was just talking about the NFC undefeated
Oh yeah.
teams, and there are no defeated teams. But Vikings look good. We already talked about them at the beginning of the show. I don't really have
Oh yeah.
too much more to add. I expect them to keep doing what they're doing. They're playing wonderful football. I mean, when you watch them, they're playing really well. And then
Mhm.
Seattle, I think Seattle has the benefit of playing rookie quarterbacks early, um, and they have not had a strong schedule. I don't think they're that good of a team. I think playoff team, yeah, you could argue they're a playoff team.
Yeah.
I don't
Agreed.
see them being like the NFC favorite, or up there as an NFC favorite. I
Yeah.
think I
Well,
think
the
they got
thing about the Seahawks too is they have to play the 49ers twice, the Cardinals twice, and the Rams twice this year. And I think the Cardinals and Niners, out of playing them twice this year, are going to give them fits.
yeah, I do too. Um, yeah, I just
I will say the Seahawks have scored a third. They've averaged the third most points, I think, per game going into this game tonight in the league. So, I mean, they can score points, but like you said, I mean, it's who they've been playing.
yeah, I don't see them being like this team where they're like 14-3, or something like that at the end of the season. Maybe 10-win team, 11-win team, something like that is
Yeah.
possible. But I think that, like I said, they've had, so right now they have, like whenever I'm checking my like DraftKings stuff and all that and the matchups, the Seahawks have the best pass defense, but I don't think that's true whatsoever. In fact, I think
Hmm.
I think Detroit's going to light them up tonight on with their offensive weapons, and I think you're going to really see where Seattle really sits, with their
Yeah.
defense. I don't think they have a very I don't think they have like a top 10 defense in the league whatsoever. I just think they've benefited from playing Denver, New England, and who else did they
Yeah,
play? Whoever
the
else.
Dolphins. I mean,
Oh,
the three
two-less
quarterbacks. Of
Dolphins,
course,
right?
they're
Yeah.
gonna. Yeah, I mean, they played Skylar Thompson and Tim Boyle. They played Jacoby Brissett and Drake May if he came in for a play or two, and they played Bo Nix in his first ever NFL game ever. I mean,
Yeah,
nothing
like,
to get excited about right there. So I
exactly.
agree. I mean, they definitely don't have the best passing defense in the NFL. That is for sure.
Yeah. So that's why,
It might
like,
even look like it if they play a decent game tonight because who knows, they can get three more interceptions off of Danny Jones next week too. So
yeah,
who
for
knows?
real.
If they play a good game tonight, man, I mean, I really see I could see the Seahawks going 5-0 if they win tonight's game. But after after that, their schedule gets a little rough then afterwards. But
Yeah. Yeah, they could go 5-0. I don't think they will. I think Detroit takes care of
yeah,
business tonight.
I do too. Yep.
Yeah. Um, so do you want to go over the games this weekend, or do you want to go over
Yeah, let's go
tonight's
for it.
games? All right, games this
Let's
weekend.
go for the. Yeah, we'll talk about them briefly real
Let's
quick.
go over the scores. Scores. There we go. Hopefully these are in order. I'd like for them to be in order.
All right.
All right, cool. Falcons Saints. That was a good game. That was a crazy game
Yeah,
too. Like,
it was. It was.
oh my gosh.
It was like a perfect storybook kind of thing. Like, after Atlanta just got whacked by that hurricane and stuff, they just walked it off at the end of the field goal. I thought that was pretty cool. We literally we talked about that beforehand at the game.
Oh, we did. That's right.
How's Atlanta gonna respond to just getting hit with such a tragic moment and stuff like that, and for their city and everything, and they responded. So
Yeah.
good for the Falcons, though, man.
We saw
I'm happy to see him get a win right there.
we saw Shaheed back to his normal self.
Yeah, on my bench.
Taysom Hill got 2 touchdowns this game, but he's injured. I think he has rib injuries or something like that.
Yeah,
And remember, that was my Swiss Army knife secret weapon. I had
that
him,
was you
and
dropped
then I
it.
dropped him, but he's hurt again, so it's like, damn.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Shaheed looked good here. This was a very close game. I liked how Atlanta looked. I liked how both teams looked. They looked to be,
Yeah.
playoff teams.
Yeah, I think both of those teams are both pretty damn good teams, honestly. Like, I think that both of their defenses are pretty solid, and I also think both of their offenses are pretty solid with the capability of being extreme, like when it comes to putting up points if they have to. I mean, both offenses have weapons. They both have pretty solid defenses, so that's gonna be interesting seeing the NFC South this year, seeing them battle it out. Um, I don't know who's winning that division, man. Like, I think that division's been so weak for so long over the past couple of years that it's so nice to see the Bucks be a good team and the Saints and Falcons be a good team, and the Panthers show some life with Dalton as their quarterback and everything. So I like seeing that division do well, man. So I like that.
Yeah. Falcons look good. Saints look good. Bucks look really good. Panthers looking
hmm
more promising. Um, yeah, I think that division's heating up a little bit more than I
Yeah.
think what we thought at the beginning of the season. So I
Oh
like to see
yeah.
that. Then we got
That's awesome, man.
the Bengals and Panthers. What do you got for that game?
Uh, I missed my bet on that one. I did take the Panthers
Ah,
money line. I did, that's what I said. But no, in that game though, like I think it was it's a promising game for the Panthers, honestly. Seeing their offense being able to actually score and put points up on the board multiple weeks in a row shows that Andy Dalton and last week wasn't just like a fluke week where he just came in out of nowhere and was on it. He's on. He looked good. Dalton's stats were great for the most part. So I mean, I think the Bengals are. You can play with the Bengals, man. I'm telling you, they got offensive weapons, but outside of that, I don't think they scare anyone. I really don't. I don't think the Bengals are as good as what the people expected them to be this year.
yeah. For the Bengals, for me, it's the same old, same old. Start slow, do better. I mean, winning over the Panthers, isn't anything to brag about right now. Um, but
Yeah.
Andy Dalton did look good for a second week. So it is nice to see some offensive stuff come out of here. I'm with you. The Bengals don't really seem to scare anyone, other than they have offensive firepower if they can get it going. And it seems like
Mm-hmm.
right around the same time every year they get it going. So, well,
Jamar Chase had a hell of a play.
oh yeah, yeah, that play was fantastic. I
That was
was
that
like,
was that
God
was a good
damn.
one.
And then we got the Bears and the Rams. This game went about
Oh,
how I thought. It was I don't
it
same
wasn't a
old
pretty
from
one to watch.
from Caleb Williams. It was kind of the same old same old.
Yeah, it seems like Keenan Allen's trying to calm Caleb Williams down a little bit. Like I'm glad he's there to try and help him, stay in his role and not make like out of pocket plays. But that game pretty much went exactly how I think we both thought. I mean, I had the Rams beating the Bears there just because I'm still slipping the Bears. I don't know I'm gonna pick the Bears to win a game all season if I'm being honest with you, but
I just
I don't.
they do have a strong defense. The Bears do have a
They
strong
do.
defense, and that's
They do,
why
yeah.
I think if they got a different quarterback in there, I think they'd be a really good team. I mean,
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is still young. We talk about this every week. It's going to be like this probably until towards the end of the season, and then by the end of the season, if it's still the same old, well then I don't know. It might for number
Yeah.
one pick, you expect him to produce year one most likely, unless there's just some circumstances that just hinder that. Um, but yeah, this game didn't shock me at all. We already talked
Yeah,
about
it
the
wasn't a pretty one.
we already talked about the Vikings Packers.
Yep.
Packers again had another interception, right? So it's 4 games in a row.
I think, yeah, yeah. There was a lot of
Um,
interceptions over the Packers that game. Jordan Love
yeah,
had four of them, or
yeah,
three of them,
yeah.
right?
There were a lot. There were a lot. Um, Christian Watson hurt. Trying to think of anything else that were like highlights from this game.
There was that one really weird play that Packers almost scored off of in that game. What was that? I forget what it was. I was watching Red Zone. I wasn't fully watching that game at the time. I saw it pop up in Red Zone. I don't know if it was like a blocked punt or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I know in one of the games, two of the games, someone went to catch a punt and it ricocheted off the person and went to the end zone and there was a touchdown. That happened in 2 games.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck is this?
yeah, right. Like, where are your
um,
hands, guys? At?
yeah. Texans and Jaguars. Texans barely beat Jaguars. But 3-1 did what you need to against a division rival. Jaguars look like shit. Mixon
Yeah,
should be coming back for this next game, and Cam Akers, I picked him up, and he just looks slow. I don't know if you were watching, but like, it just looks like he doesn't like. I was so confused. He didn't look like an athlete when he ran the ball. So I'm curious to see how Mixon looks when he gets back in there, and I think this team will be even better with. I think Mixon really improves his team.
I I think Mixon direly improves the team, but there are a couple of concerns with me of this team. As much talent as what they have and everything like that, they need their defense to put out more for them, I think, and their offense, like, I don't get me wrong, I think Houston's arguably one of the best teams in the NFL, like all around, right? I think they're a great team, but I put a question mark above them after this week for a lot of different reasons. Um, Outside of Collins, I know Diggs like ran the ball in. He's been getting creative with it and everything. Outside of Collins, though, like that's definitely been his Stroud's favorite target, and they've had been in a lot of close games. In week one, they beat the Colts by 2 points, and week two, they barely got away from the Bears there. I mean, that was a sloppy game. That was not a great game to watch at all, honestly. And then week three, getting destroyed by the Vikings, who we think are a really good complete team. Well, if you're a really good complete team, you got to play with other really good complete teams. So for now, I'm putting the big question mark over the Texans because they got to prove more to me right now. Like the Vikings, that's a complete team to me right now. A complete team doesn't get blown out 34-7 by another fully complete team like the Vikings, like the Texans and stuff like that. So I I think the Texans are good. I think it's might just be a little slow start and scary start to their season and everything. I think they definitely figured it out. They're definitely going to be there for me at the end of the year, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get knocked off these next couple weeks, honestly. Like they play the Bills next week, I think that's for sure a loss. Like they got to play these teams good, and until the Texans can play other good teams well and like match like what they're bringing to them, then I might be like I said, I might be putting a question mark over the Texans right now.
Yeah, yeah, I
I still have my
definitely,
faith there, but I don't
definitely,
know.
definitely hear what you're saying. Their wins don't look very good, and their loss
Yeah,
looks really bad. We need to see more from them,
yeah,
and more like in a better better sense because they don't look like a
yes,
championship team. You know, 3-1,
exactly.
but let's
Yep.
let's see what they can do over the next couple of weeks. That Buffalo game will probably tell quite a bit.
I think it will. Yeah.
Colts and the Steelers. What the fuck?
uh, that's
This
the most
game.
points the Steelers have scored in a long time. Good job, boys. Uh, dude, like, their defense was not there the first half of that game. Honestly,
Um,
they outcoached Pittsburgh too. I'll tell you that. They shut T.J. Watt down. They literally, that's why you didn't hear his name all game. They shut him down. Look what happened. They scored some points. So the rest of our defense is good, but when you take a game wrecker out of play like that, it makes all of the difference. So
yeah, I didn't understand how this game happened like this. Richardson got hurt. Flacco came in. I think that actually
yeah,
helped the team.
it did.
I think that's one of the reasons why the Colts won this game is because their quarterback got hurt.
I was pissed when A-Rod went when
I
AR-15 went
know.
down, dude. I was literally in the Discord call saying we're fucked now because we have to play Flacco. I called it, dude. I was
Yeah.
so pissed. I'd rather play the guy who's thrown 6 interceptions through 3 weeks than have to play Joe Flacco. He's got a cannon for an arm, dude. He's like 39, 40 years old and still rushing for first down, still just bombing
He's,
him down.
he
Dude.
still
He's
got
a
it,
beast.
man.
He's a beast. I love him.
Like fuck. But yeah, this game was kind of confusing to me. Jonathan Taylor got hurt. Um, he has a high ankle sprain. What else? Richardson's day to day with hip pointer. So you know we'll see towards the end of the week how that will play towards this upcoming
Mhm.
week. Steelers, I think they just shake this off. They came out in the second
Yeah.
half and looked much better. I don't know what happened the first half. Maybe they were asleep, but I believe they play the Cowboys next week, and I don't
Yeah.
even. I don't want to. I don't want it. I don't want this game. I'm telling you right now. I don't want to see this game.
I will say that was the best second half the Steelers have played since Ben Roethlisberger has been. It was with the Steelers still.
Yeah,
Like that was.
Fields. What are you over 300 yards passing, right?
I think he might have had 200 something, but he was good. He was good. He threw some good balls. He made one stupid play that was like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that
we
was a
said.
Chicago play.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah, it was that
That's it.
fumble, the fumble that he had where he like went to the ground but didn't go all the way to the
Yeah,
ground, and then he just
he's
dropped the
like,
ball, and then he got hit, and a Chicago play. We all
yeah,
know what
that's
that
why I
means.
literally I typed in the group chat. I was like, this is the most Chicago shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh my god,
So
that
I think
yeah,
Steelers shake this one off. They'll be all right. This
yeah,
is
they'll
one of
be
those games
fine.
I think you learn from, right? Like
Yep.
they stopped Watt. Well, what do we need to do because they're stopping our game plan? Pretty much that's what they did.
Yeah.
So I think
The
this was
Steelers were also without Highsmith on the opposite side of that game as well. So that's a good something to remember there as well.
yeah, but Colts 2-2. That's a good win for them, especially because Steelers were undefeated and looking really good.
Yeah,
Broncos and
they were.
Jets. I don't know what to think of the Broncos. I don't know what to think of the Jets. I
That was a raining game.
I have okay. I remember something watching. Sorry to go back, but this Texans game, they need to get rid. They need to fucking Tunsil or whatever. He has 11 penalties or 12 penalties at this point. I don't remember. It just kept
Jeez.
going up because he kept getting like
Yeah.
penalty. They were like, oh man, get that guy off my team. I don't care how
Yeah.
dominant or good he looks or anything, but I don't like just so many offensive penalties.
All right. Good evening, Chris. Should I trade A Chain for AJ Brown if you have Gibbs and Bijan? Ooh. Um. I mean, having Jameer Gibbs and Bijan Robinson also with A Chain on the same lineup. I mean, great draft. Round of applause to you to begin with. That was awesome. But that's that's hard to say. I mean, AJ Brown, he's been hurt so far at the beginning of the season. Now that Devontae Smith's out, I think it's a big question with Philly right now. They're offensively at a giant question mark above their head with their offensive coordinator. Um, if you're willing, I mean, I don't know Gibbs and Bijan Robinson's bye weeks. As long as they don't have the same bye week and you need a receiver, I don't think that's a bad trade if you need a receiver. If you don't need, if you're not like in dire need for a receiver, I might second or have second guesses about that trade. But if you definitely do need a receiver, AJ Brown, if he's coming back pretty soon here, then I don't think it's a bad idea.
So we saw how
Your thoughts,
much
Swag?
Philly needs its receivers.
Yeah,
They looked so bad. Like,
yeah, they did.
I mean,
Yeah,
I thought at least Dotson would do something for them. And I mean, they need. So whenever
He had
AJ
0
Brown comes
catches.
back, I think they will be targeting him.
Yeah,
I'm just worried. Like, see, like here's the thing. Hurts at this point, I'm saying he's an unreliable quarterback because you don't know what you're going to get out of him. So
hmm
you have your unreliable quarterback throw into your receiver. He could have a monster week, or he could have 2 catches. AJ Brown's also currently hurt, so it's kind of. Now the other thing is, A Chain also has a shit quarterback, and that
he
offense
does.
is terrible without Tua. That offense looks
And also,
absolutely terrible without Tua.
Raheem Mostert is also hurt right now. I don't know how long he's out for, but Raheem Mostert is hurt. So A-Chain's going to be getting a lot of touches right now, considering, like you said, they don't have a good quarterback, and their other running back is out as well.
Now let's see what Huntley does, but I don't think it's going to change a whole lot. I looked at
hmm
Huntley's. He has about a 65% completion rate. He throws. He has one more touchdown than interceptions in his career, but I don't think that's a true story because in games where he actually plays the game, he has more interceptions than touchdowns. Ones where he comes in and only plays a little portion of the game, or when they're up. He does well in that role. But he doesn't do well in like a full starting role.
Yeah, it's a good call.
So this game tonight, both it's the two worst offenses in the league. Like with don't count week one.
Yeah.
But Tennessee, not a very good offense. Will Levis just he too inconsistent and too many turnovers. Huntley, I don't know how he'll do. Maybe it's the right situation for him. Maybe he thrives. Maybe it's like what we talked about. But I don't even know for that trade. I would say like if you need a wide receiver, then I might do that. If you don't, if you're defeated in your league, I might make that trade. Like I might change something up.
Yeah.
Go for that Hail Mary. If you're, have a good, and I haven't looked at like, it for me, this trade would depend on what weeks the fantasy football playoffs are in your league and who they play. That's what this trade would come down to for me. If
Yeah.
they played, weak defensive teams, Panthers. I'm trying to think of a couple other teams who have just weak defenses off the top. Jags, Rams, Giants. If you got 2 or 3 of those teams in there for the playoff weeks, especially for the championship, the Cardinals, I might make that trade. I have Mike Evans.
Yeah. I agree with you 100% on everything you just said.
And also, A-Chain will be a little bit more of a timeshare, and I don't think he's going to have like those dominant games like with Tua. I just don't, and he could, maybe he does. I just don't. I don't
Yeah.
see it. I try to avoid those quarterback situations because it's just hard to predict. What's really going to happen.
It also does look like Mostert's going to be kind of like a week to week right now. He's just inactive for tonight, but it looks like he might be ready to go next week. So that's not going to be anything long term that A-Chain's going to be taking all his reps for a long period of time or anything. Just probably going to be for this week.
Shit. Let's go through these games a lot faster, and then hit
Yeah.
Monday night's game.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about that.
Do them real quick.
Broncos.
They're on the Broncos.
Broncos and Jets. I was surprised Broncos won this. It was a messy game, raining, bad weather. Jets should have won with a field goal. Zerline missed.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even came down to that, but the Broncos did enough. And I don't know what this Jets team is. I don't know what their identity is. Broncos are a scrappy team with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, I will say the past 2 weeks the Broncos have looked better on defense. They played the Bucks pretty well last week on defense. I got to give them to them. Bo Nix looked well last week. This week was hard. It was just shit quarterback play. Let's be honest. It was pouring, raining the whole time. It was. It just wasn't a pretty game for a passer. Um, it that's why I had the Broncos spread here. I think it was like plus like 7.5 for the Broncos or something like that. So that definitely
Yeah.
covered and then some. But it just was a I don't take too much away from that game. Just overall shitty weather, sloppy game. Just hopefully the Jets get it rolling here.
Yeah, yeah, that was just a sloppy game. Eagles Bucks. Bucks look fantastic. Eagles missing both their top two wide receivers. This game probably went about what you thought it would, with missing key players.
Yeah.
Bucks look good though. Like they look good.
The Eagles offense just looks so one. I know they have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, but they were so one-minded when going into that game. I mean, they came in as one of the run. Like Jahan Dotson had 0 catches. Like he's had a terrible season so far. They brought him in there, and I thought he would be having much more receptions than what he's had this year. I thought
They
he would be
traded
the
for
guy
him.
that takes. Yeah,
They
I thought
traded.
he'd
They
be the
wanted
guy.
him.
I thought he'd be the guy that would take receptions from AJ Brown and Devontae Smith because they actually have a good wide receiver three too because they have three great wide receivers at that point.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. The Eagles really got to find something. I think Nick Sirianni needs to go. I think their offensive coordinator needs to go. Especially Sirianni. I mean, Philadelphia fans were roasting his ass last night on Twitter.
I don't blame
Oh
him.
my God, was it, dude? You know how Philly fans are too.
Oh
They
yeah, they got no patience. There's no.
no, no filter, no patience.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll see how the Eagles look when they get back to full strength. You know, they've had some close games. Um, Bucks look good.
Yeah,
Uh,
Bucks do look good.
yeah, Commanders and Cardinals, man. Jaden Daniels looks fantastic, man. I'd say,
Yeah,
like, I mean, you know, against the Cardinals, but still, he's done something that no rookie has ever done, that no
yeah.
person has ever done. Like, through the first four games, he has the highest completion percentage.
Completion percentage, yep. Even higher than what Tom Brady's was. That says something
And
right
and it's
there.
not like he's throwing the ball like 5 yards every time, right? Like he's
Nope.
throwing bombs,
He's
he's
getting
throwing to
downfield.
McLaurin. I mean,
Yeah.
he's making plays. He's running. Now, this is I don't want to see this, but this is what happens, right? You get a rookie, they're mobile, they can throw, they're doing good, they run too much, injury, their career doesn't ever return like to what it looked like they were going to be.
They need to avoid the RG3 situation.
And not just our, we've seen it more than just that.
Yeah.
But
I
like,
was just saying him because that's the team he was with when he got drafted and that happened.
yeah, and he did look good, and then he got injured.
Yeah, yep.
And so
Hmm.
I do see Daniels does slide a lot more. Well, I mean, so he doesn't. His slide is like a dive. He doesn't like to slide.
Yeah.
But yeah. I like how the Commanders. I think they look like a really good team, and you know, Dan Quinn, defense. Don't let that team get a lot of confidence.
I love that
Watch
backwards
out.
hat bastard. Oh, I love him.
I know I was mad when we let him go, but you know he's head coach now. So, but watch out
Dude.
for that team. They got some confidence, and with that confidence, people just play better when you're winning and everyone's on their game. It's just different.
Yeah.
Watch out for the Commanders. Watch out.
Dude, seriously, that team and that locker room has some swagger rolling through right now, and they are feeling it. Good for them, bro. They've averaged the most amount of points scored each single week in the NFL so far. I mean, good for them, bro. Like Jaden Daniels is just an absolute monster.
It
He
is.
doesn't mess up, like you said. He makes really good decisions for it being his first year in the league. Like really, really, really smart decisions. I love their coaching. I see the Commanders. They might make a name for themselves this year, dude. I hope so. They're fun to watch. They really are fun to watch.
Yeah. Um,
All right,
yeah.
Patriots.
Yeah. 49ers Patriots. This game went exactly how I thought.
Yeah,
It was not anything surprising. I don't even. Stevenson fumbled again.
fumbled twice, I think.
He might. I mean, this is a bad team overall. I don't think the
Yeah.
Patriots are any good. I really don't. And they're one dimensional and they have issues all over the place. 49ers got a win that they were supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really all I got to say about this one. Do you have anything to add?
Not much. There's only one thing that kind of stood out to me in that game whatsoever. Overall, I think it went exactly how everyone thought that game was going to go. 49ers take care of business. The only thing that stood out to me that game is the Patriots started to use Antonio Gibson. So I know he's on a lot of free agent lists right now for most leagues. So I'm not saying go out and get him. I definitely would not go get him this week by any means. He wouldn't be that guy. But if he keeps showing improvement and keep showing usage in their offense, he would be a guy I feel like just to keep an eye out for on the free agent list.
Yep, and we
That's the
talked
only
about
takeaway from
we
that
talked about
though.
the fumbles, right? I think that
Yeah.
plays into that. Chiefs and
Oh yeah.
Chargers. Um, Another squeaker of a win.
Kind of
Herbert's
talked about the Chiefs. Yeah.
Herbert's played better than this Chargers team. I think is better than I gave them credit for. I
Oh yeah.
actually think they're a pretty good team. Harbaugh has done well,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you don't have your receiving core from last year. Both receivers are gone. So it's they're a team that I'm interested to see more out of.
Yeah. Me too. I think defensively they're good. I think they're pretty solid defense. I think if between Dobbins and Edwards as the running backs, they can definitely have a good running game there. I mean, they've proven that for the first couple weeks, minus the Steelers game. Um, But I mean, hey, if they can get, my biggest thing for them is they need to get Josh Palmer back, and they need to get Josh Palmer back and healthy, and they need to fix Herbert's ankle issue. Because if that's the case, then
Yeah,
he has Palmer, he has McConkey, he has Quentin Johnston, who has been popping off the past couple weeks, dude. Quentin Johnston's another one of those players who's on a lot of free agent lists right now. He's probably going to be in the waiver wire more and more. People are going to be taking him and scooping him up on waivers if he keeps having good weeks like this. But if he's still there, he's definitely a guy to keep your eye out on as well. I'd take a little bit more quicker action on him than I would like Antonio Gibson. But I love Quentin Johnson. I love what Harbaugh's doing with the Chargers.
yeah. I agree with everything you said. And for the Chiefs, look to see who comes out as that wide receiver one for them now that Rice is.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't think it's been confirmed. It's just what we suspect. The news coming from the Chiefs is that Rice tore
Yeah,
his ACL. And by the hit, I watched that and it looked like it. When I saw it, I was like, oh no. And I have him in one of my
yeah,
leagues, so I was like, fuck, man, I know it. I already know it. So look to see if Juju Smith-Schuster shows up here, or if they turn to Kelsey, or if Xavier Worthy gets more targets, or if they trade for someone. That's something to watch. Browns and Raiders. Um, boy, I'm
How about them Browns?
bro. I don't know what to say about the Browns. I'm absolutely shocked that they lost this game with who the Raiders had out. And good for Minshew, man. Minshew's looking like who he reminds me of in a way.
Yeah,
Minshew reminds me of Baker Mayfield. Like
yeah.
just two guys. They just want to fucking compete and win. And I don't know. I
Hmm.
respect that out of people. Like no bullshit. Just play and win.
Yeah, he's not gonna 33 touchdowns, 300 yards every week, but he's gonna play his heart out. That's for damn sure.
He'll
He's
get
gonna try.
he'll get hit, knocked down, pop right back up, and come on, let's fucking go win a game. So I
Yeah.
like that out of him. Trey, I talked about him. Trey, oh I don't remember his last name right now. But he had a pretty decent game here. He's someone who I said to look out for as a good,
Trey Tucker.
yeah, Trey Tucker as a little
Yep.
flex play. And in DraftKings, he did pretty decent. He got a rushing touchdown, and he got some targets and some yards. So that was a really good cheap option that actually did pretty decent here. But yeah, the Browns.
Hmm.
I don't even know.
Deshaun Watson's got to go, dude. Deshaun
He's got to
Watson, I
go.
think
He's got to
it's
go.
more than just that. I think Kevin Stefanski, their head coach, does. I don't know, man. I mean, a couple of years ago, he really seemed to flip that team around. It just seems like he's almost like lost that team. Like their defense doesn't even have like the personality that they had of being that mean defense or anything. I think that team's lost right now. I like they were arguing the other day in the sideline, shit like that. Like Watson and Winston were going at it, and like there's just I don't. I see the Browns just crumbling apart, falling apart as they usually do this season. It's going to be another season for the Browns where they just everything goes to shambles. I mean,
I
yes,
think the
having been a Steelers fan for my whole life and being in the same division as them, I love it. But it's I've seen it way too many times for. I think all of us have seen it way too many times for us not to notice kind of the way the Brown season's heading right now, the way it looks at least.
rinse, wash, and repeat for the Browns.
Yep. Yep.
Bills and
Yeah.
Ravens. Oh man, this is what I wanted
King
to see
Henry.
out of the Ravens. I've been waiting for it. I knew it was coming. I had both Henry and Hill on overs on
Me
my pick
too.
sixes. And yeah, this game went kind of how I thought. The Ravens were able to run the ball on the Bills, and don't know why. I feel like this was a huge game for them because they really figured out their identity. Like against
Yes.
the Cowboys, they did what they did, but then they let them come back. Here, they put their foot on the pedal and they kept it down from last game. I mean, they did not look back. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I think this was more of a statement from the Ravens than the Bills. Um, I just think the
Yeah.
Ravens played their game, and when you play your game like that, you're not you're not going to be beaten. If the Ravens can keep this up, they're not going to lose again.
Yeah. I agree that the Ravens. I mean, they just run the shit out of the ball. Like it's hard for them. Like it's hard to stop their run because they have. It's not it's like you just have Henry or Lamar. Like they have people like Justice Hill like who pop up and stuff like that. I think every single week of the NFL season so far, I've taken Justice Hill to cover his receiving plus rushing yards. It's like 25 and a half or 35 and a half like every single week. Hammer the shit out of that every single week.
Yeah,
It's
me
like
too.
literally
I've taken it.
guaranteed money at this point. Like I've gotten it every single week. Besides maybe week one because I wanted to see like him like actually get used and stuff. But ever since that week, dude, I mean you can tell he's a part of their offense. He just re-signed the big not a big but a decent sized contract with the Ravens for the next like 2 or 3 years here. So they want him to be a part of their offense. They like what he's doing, and they're gonna keep dishing the ball off to him for 5 to 15 yard runs, and they're gonna keep running wheel routes with him out of the backfield and use him for downs and when Henry needs, a couple breaks here and there and stuff like that. I mean, they do use him. I picked him up in fantasy even this week because he gets used weekly. Like he might not get you a lot of points, but if someone's out one week, I mean, you can guarantee 7 to 8 points minimum from him because he's going to get those touches.
He's a very solid flex
So,
player, and
yeah.
you know who he reminds me of? It reminds me of with the Cowboys when they had Zeke and Pollard when
Hmm.
Pollard first like we first discovered him.
Hmm.
And Zeke got the bulk of the carries and stuff, but Pollard would chip in and he would get, he just like Hill is, he would get those, you know, 10 touches a game and he'd make them
Yep.
count. Um, you know,
Exactly.
and I'm with you here all the way. I love their backfield duo. I'm curious to see when I believe it's Keaton Mitchell.
Yep.
I'm curious to see what, how, or if they use him when he comes back because last year they were pretty big on him, and then he got injured.
Is he supposed to be back next week?
I know I know it's soon. He's recovering from ACL from last year.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm with you here until that happens and there's any talk about it. I like this duo backfield and the timeshare that they're getting. You can take both running backs. That's how productive they are, especially against a team. If a team can't stop the run,
Mm.
Henry and Hill. Because also what's going to happen is there might be a game where they get up by a lot and they might
And
like
Hill's
just
going to get all the
rest.
touches.
They might just rest King Henry. So that's
Yeah.
also something that could play into play like the Panthers or something. Hill might be a get 20 or more points, fantasy points.
Yeah.
So
He got 20 something points just from last night's game. So I mean, he
yeah,
went off. I think like 20. What did he have? He had 21.6 points last night. I mean,
yeah,
he went 6 for 6 for reception for 78 yards and a touchdown too. Like that's what I'm
yeah.
talking about. Like he gets all of that, man. He's just no one's open, give it the hill type of thing. But
But
all right, on to the night's games.
all right, so we got Dolphins and Titans, and bleh. That's all I gotta say about this one. I'm done. That's my spill. On to the next one.
uh,
But
I
I mean, this is a rough game, man. Like Offensively, this is a rough game.
It is. What's hold on, I'm loading up the DraftKings right now. I'm trying to figure out what the under is. It's probably
Uh,
like 30
it's
something points,
Yeah,
I'm
it
sure.
is 30 something because the Seahawks Lions, whenever I checked, was like 46 and a half, and theirs was like 37 or something.
It's 37 and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that
almost.
sounds right.
I like what Sean said about hammer the Lions Seahawks over. Like
Yeah,
the Lions are
same.
going to score points tonight because the Seahawks defense is going to get a little slap in the face, realizing they're not the best receiving defense or and then the NFL right now after playing who they've played. But the Seahawks are also going to score some damn points because they have a pretty lethal offense with everyone they got. I think Kenneth Walker is also back tonight as well.
Yes,
But
he is, and I have him and Charbonnet both, like both of them. Their rushing totals under because the Lions' run defense is stellar. Seahawks are going to
yeah.
play from behind, I think, in this game, unless they can go out and score an opening drive and get a defensive touchdown. I see this
Mhm.
game going with the Lions coming out, scoring points, Seahawks trying to catch up and throwing a shit ton. Um, and I think it's going to be a shootout. I have this definitely over like lock on the it's a lock on the over. There's no,
Yeah, for sure.
I think that the numbers are skewed for the Seahawks because who they played. Um, and yeah, this is in a dome, good weather. Yeah, I mean, look for there to be a lot of points in this game.
Yeah, the other thing, going back to the Titans Dolphins real quick, I want to talk about is Calvin Ridley up until last week was having a pretty good season with the Titans. He didn't really get even targeted too much last week, so I look for him to have a little bit of a bounce back game. I know they've been going to DeAndre Hopkins a good bit. I mean, he's a beast. I mean, he has gotten older, so I feel like that's why he's less talked about. But if Levis can figure something out, man, he's got receivers. He really does.
He
I
has
mean,
weapons, not just receivers. He has
he-
weapons. He has multiple
yeah.
weapons. Like he's got two good running backs. You got
He's
a
three
couple.
good receivers. Tyler Boyd's so undertalked, dude. I mean, he came out of Pitt like what, like probably 10 years ago at this point. But he was a monster in college, and he went to Cincinnati. He was great in Cincinnati. I love watching him play there, dude. I mean, because he still did good. I mean, he was there even before like Chase and all them got there. He was that guy for a little bit. So I mean, I love Tyler Boyd.
So I'm actually fading Ridley this game. Because so Hopkins was dealing with a lingering knee issue.
Yeah.
And weeks 1 and 2, I don't remember what the timeshare was, but he's slowly been progressing more and more snaps. Where last week it was like a 50% snap count. I
Hmm.
expect more. They've even the Titans came out and talked about this that they were going to be ramping up his workload and stuff. So I expect Hopkins to have something like 7 catches, 70 yards, maybe a touchdown or two in this game. And I think Levis will actually do pretty decent because I think the Titans will force a couple turnovers, which will help their offense score more points. So I like Hopkins here to have a pretty decent game. As far as anyone else, I'm not so sure. I'm low on all the Dolphins players. I mean, I don't. I could
I think
see.
I think A Chain gets it's an anytime tutty tonight. I mean, they're gonna have to run that offense through him.
Yeah,
Like
they
A
will
Chain's
have
gonna
to
get a
run.
lot of touches tonight.
So what I think is going to happen is the Dolphins are going to run the ball a lot, and they're going to do a lot of screens and quick passes. I
Yep.
don't think they're going to look to open up the field. I don't think there's that deep threat. So like you know, but I think they'll have to abandon that game plan if they go down. And that's what I'm worried about here. I'm worried about the Titans getting up on them because of mistakes made by the Dolphins. And it just not and they're not able to even work their game
Hmm.
plan.
The other reason you were talking about Hopkins, the reason I wasn't liking Hopkins as much tonight is because I think the Dolphins don't have a bad defense. It's not great, but it's not bad. I think Jalen Ramsey's going to be on Hopkins tonight. So I think Jalen Ramsey's still a lockdown. I mean, he's obviously not as good as what he once used to be when he was younger, I don't think, but I think he'll probably be on Hopkins tonight. So that was the other reason I was kind of leading towards um, Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. I mean, there is that. I think he's going to get more snaps and he's going to have a better stat line than he has over the last few weeks. He's getting more playing time. You can just see it if you look at the numbers. But I mean, like
Yeah.
you're right. I mean, Ridley could have 700 2 touchdowns type game.
Hmm.
Levis is like that's possible, and I think there's going to be a lot of turnovers this game. I think both quarterbacks throw an interception here, both of them.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
I actually have one of my picks is that it's a little $5 bet for $40 or something like that. So
Yeah,
um,
you already know Levis is going to do something stupid. So
yeah. Um, I don't
what's the over under on Kenneth Walker's rushing yard? That's my big
like
question.
45 or something.
49 and a
49.
half.
And I'm
Really?
worried because he is a very talented runner and he can break some tackles, but the Lions' run defense is just so good. Um, it's
What
so
is
good.
but how much is he? Is he a back or is he getting limited touches? Because
Yeah, see
I
that's
mean,
that's the question,
Charbonnet
right?
had 2 really good past weeks, right? Like
Yeah, but look who they played.
I know, but
That's
I'm just saying like that they might be more comfortable giving him less touches because of Charbonnet having like having him been comfortable and having been there for a while and knowing what he can do.
I'm looking real quick. I'm trying to see the update on Walker.
He will return. This is a huge thing for the season. Walker was able to get in limited practices on Thursday and Friday. He wasn't even listed on the injury report over the weekend
So it looks like he's
either.
back.
Yeah.
So, but I don't got anything else. That was about it.
Yeah.
I do.
I think Tennessee's going to try and throw the ball in them tonight, but also the other thing I want to notice is that when the Seahawks did play the Dolphins last week, without Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet did rush for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Dolphins. So you can run on the Dolphins. I think their secondary is better than what the Dolphins are up front, but I don't know. I know like Tennessee, like I said, like they have the talent, man. They just got to put it together.
I wouldn't be
So they're gonna want to get the ball to Hopkins and Redley too. Like you want to get the ball to their hands and let your playmakers make plays. But I don't know. Pollard could also have a pretty decent game tonight as well.
I could see both running backs have a good game for tonight for the Titans. Both Pollard
Yeah.
and what's his name? What's the other running back?
I think it's AJ something.
What is his name? I can't remember off the top of my head right now. Anyway, but I think both
It
those
is
Sharp, not Sharp.
Tajay Spears. Yeah,
Spears.
Tajay
I knew it
Spears.
started with an S. I was like Sharp, Spears. Yeah, I think both those guys could have a decent. I think the Titans will have 2 or 3 players who have like fantastic stat lines tonight. I just don't see the
Mhm.
Dolphins being able to do too much against them. Maybe they can shut down the pass, but if they shut down the pass, it won't be the run, and if they shut down the run, it won't be the pass. So
Yeah. This tight man, the Lions Seahawks game. I think there's some good bets we made in here. Do you want to put together a pick six flag?
yeah, we can do that. Let me open it up.
Even Montgomery, how he's been scoring touchdowns, man.
I already got quite a few. Oh shit!
He
I
scored
got
a touchdown every game so far this year.
Who, Montgomery?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I have one of my pick sixes where I have both Montgomery and Gibbs scoring a touchdown anytime. All
Yeah, I
right,
could see that.
what do you got, Shrek?
Holy, that was quick. All right.
And then after this, we'll wrap
Are
it up.
we splitting? Am I doing three? You doing three?
Yeah, we'll do it like that.
Okay.
Let's see if
From both games or just the Seahawks game?
both games.
Both games. Okay, good. Um, I have. This might be a little much, right? I don't know how much you're gonna agree with this. I mean, this is your bet, so obviously don't put it if you're not comfortable. I have A-Chain going over 92.5 rushing plus receiving yards tonight. Because I really think, like you said with Huntley, they're going to be dumping just short little shit passes like that. They're going to be running the hell out of the ball. I mean, that's his receiving and rushing combined, but
Oh, won't give that to me.
it won't. Son of a bitch.
Wait, is this?
That's
There it
annoying.
is. I got an A chain anytime touchdown. Hmm.
I also have that, my bet.
I think that's all it gives for A chain.
Hmm.
Why does this not seem right?
I don't know.
Get off there. There we go. Yeah,
Up,
there we
Hockey.
go.
How's it going?
Now it's
Do
showing
you
every.
think?
It wasn't showing everything. That was weird.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
think Hubbard is going to play against the Bears defense. Is that who the Panthers play next week?
all right. So you got A chain for more than 93.5.
Yes. Yeah. I had him
Alright.
taking more. Uh, I don't. The Bears have a really good defense. But Carolina's also been moving the ball now that they have Andy Dalton. So it's not like the Bears can just game plan just for the Panthers run or anything. Since Dalton's there, he's been slinging the ball around. So I think Dalton brings out a lot in Hubbard. I think it makes his job easier, right? Because it's a lot easier to game plan when Bryce Young was back in there, and you didn't really have to game plan as much for the pass as what you did for the run at that point. Um, I think he's a smart play next week. Honestly, I know the Bears have a good defense, but the Panthers' offense has kind of been rolling the past 2 weeks here since Andy Dalton took over. So I kind of like that play. All
All
right, what
right.
else we got? You got
Yes.
Pollard. You got Pollard going over there. Okay,
And
okay.
Spears, Pollard and Spears.
Damn. Okay. All right. I think a receiver for the Seahawks is getting touchdown tonight, but which receiver is going to get that tutty? We can give it to DK. You can give it to Smith and then Jigba. Let's see, is Tyler Lockett good? Yep, Tyler Lockett's playing. I don't know, man. They got a lot of options. I think Jameson Williams has himself a night again, though.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I love him, dude. He's so damn quick and fast. He's so much fun to watch.
All right. So I got my picks in. We got two more.
Two more. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, are they pretty much
Wait,
on the
what?
Tennessee one?
What is? Four of your picks are no longer available. What do you mean? Oh,
Where'd you
they
change?
locked them. Damn. Well, never mind. I don't know why they locked them right
Wait,
now.
why are they lock them?
Oh, there they are. They were changing something for them. That's why.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
was
They're
so confused. I
changing.
was like, the
It's
game
like,
doesn't
what? There's
start.
plenty of time.
Here's the countdown. Like, what the fuck?
That was weird.
Yeah, yeah. All right, go on. Sorry.
Uh, okay, I'm gonna try and pick two from the Seahawks game because these are all from Tennessee and Miami.
True.
Um, let's see. Dude, what's the deal between? I'm so confused with Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs, man. Like, who is their number one
I think Gibbs is
running back?
technically their number one, but I see it as like a complete just a running back 1A and a running back 1B.
Yeah, because I mean they both get a shit ton of touches every game. I mean Gibbs has been getting less touches. Gibbs has been getting much less, especially the last game.
I feel like Montgomery is more of their like grind it, and Gibbs is more of their receiving. Like they don't really
Yeah.
throw too many times to Montgomery. I mean, he has receptions, but
Hmm.
that's kind of how I see it. It says like it kind of says that on like the stat lines.
Yeah, and Jameer Gibbs does get a lot of like all-purpose yards from like receiving and stuff too. Um, what's his receiving and rushing
For who?
for Jameer Gibbs? I gotta look his receiving and rushing prop up.
I like doing the receiving rushing because it gives you that leeway if they don't have a good running night, they can
Yeah.
still get passing. God, I like both of
77 and
these
a half.
over.
I like that. I
I like-
like that.
You
I
want to
like
take?
Gibbs a lot there.
All right. God, I like both of them. I think I did something like this. I took Gibbs over on the rushing receiving, and I took Montgomery over on the rushing only. I think that's what I ended up doing on one of my other ones. But
Let's
it's
see.
your last pick now.
Uh, I kind of like a Gibbs anytime tutty though too. I see they're gonna throw the ball to him. I feel like tonight, like yeah, we were just talking about this. Seattle does have a good, or doesn't have the best, like obviously like receiving defense in the league because of the people they've been playing, even though they're ranked number one. But I don't think it's terrible. Like I don't think it's bad. You know what I mean? They're definitely like nowhere close to like last in the league
Yeah,
as
yeah,
far as that goes or
like a
anything.
playoff team's
So
defense. It's still
yeah,
decent.
yeah. Damn. Yeah, I kind of like a Jameer Gibbs study too here.
That's what you want to go with.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good to me. I like that. See if we can make it 4 in a row, rushing or receiving touchdown. You can only make one pick per. Wait, what? Oh, I put what? You said Montgomery, right?
Yeah.
My
I
bad.
mean, I said Gibbs. Gibbs.
Oh, Gibbs anytime touchdown. I can't do the
Yeah.
same player more than once.
You can't.
We already
Could
have
you do instead of the Montgomery one then? Could you do Geno Smith 2+ passing touchdowns?
instead of Montgomery, do Geno Smith.
Geno Smith's gonna have the third. I don't think they're gonna run the ball. Like they're gonna, like you
Yeah.
said, Detroit has a hell of a good run defense. They're gonna have to throw the ball, and they're gonna have to score through passing tonight.
Where is passing touchdowns? There's that. Passing TDs. Yeah, it only has Goff available for that. It won't give it to.
Really?
Yeah, there's certain things like whenever you figure that, I mean, there's certain
It's almost
that,
like they know, right?
yeah, yeah. They don't want to give it the easy one, right? Like that's a pretty solid because I like that too, but they don't offer
Son
it.
of a bitch. What about do you have Will Levis for anytime interception?
Oh yeah, that we got. I already have that for one of mine. Let's see. Let's go. There you go.
Let's go.
All right, sound good?
We bet so hard against that guy.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right.
What's I'm assuming Tyler Boyd's probably like 2 or 3 receptions. Probably like 2.5, something like
I'm
that.
pretty sure it's 2.5.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's 2.5.
That's so weird. But Hopkins is getting more
So
play, so now.
I was trying to look at someone to raid to. I mean, I guess I could. I don't even know what this is. This is some. No, they're not live. Okay. Yep. Just we'll eventually figure out some people to like raid and stuff. Wait, let me see if any of the TGR homies are on. Well, I don't have anyone followed hardly on this Twitch, so I can't. Nope. Fuck. Do you have anyone to recommend that I raid out to, Shrek?
Let's go right out to Juice. Juice is streaming.
Oh, there we go. Yep, that sounds like a winner.
Juice likes sports. I'm sure he'll be talking. He's in just chatting right now, so he actually might be talking about some sports. So.
What's his Twitch exactly?
Just blunt and fresh.
Blunt N?
Yeah, like the letter N
Fresh.
and then fresh. See it?
Raid settings do not allow you to raid at this time. I might have to go follow him. Blunt and fresh. Let me follow. Maybe that'll allow.
It's so weird.
It might need
What's
to
up,
be
Rippins?
There might need to be certain verified stuff. Let's try this again. Raid. Blunt.
I had a great night so far, Rippins. Just you ready to raid out here and watch some football?
Yep, I can't.
Some
All right.
foosball.
I think we're just gonna end the stream. We'll be back Sunday.
Yep, next Sunday.
Yep.
But throughout this week, though, make sure you check out our YouTube and TikTok, both Double Down Sports. I think there might be Double Down Sports 0 on TikTok, but you get it. It still says Double Down Sports. So we'll be posting plenty more this upcoming week on TikTok and YouTube. We'll be trying to probably get the VODs out on the YouTube as well. if anyone wants to rewatch any of our prior week picks and some of the stuff we said in prior weeks, we'll probably get all that stuff out to YouTube as well.
Yeah,
So
I think we're just
we'll
gonna
see y'all
post
then.
post some of these as like a straight
Yeah.
VOD. I like doing that better than, and then we can still post some certain content here or there. But good luck on y'all's picks tonight for Double Down
Yep.
Monday. Fuck them up, and we'll see
Become
y'all.
millionaires.
We'll see y'all week 5 for the Sunday games. Y'all have a good one and have a great night. Peace.
Peace.